Welcome back, folks. If you've just joined us, you're watching Cape Rugby TV, of course. Thank you to our sponsor, CyberSmart. As you can see directly behind me, CyberSmart. They are, of course, your internet service provider. And then, of course, Score Energy Drinks, also just coming up behind me, all planned, of course. And if you stay tuned to the show, then a little bit later in the show, we will do a Score Energy Drinks competition where you can win for yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the rest of the show. The bodyguards are here because I've been told we're now going to chat to Waleed Brown and Alistair Tace, and both of them are playing in Super League B. Of course, if you know me a little bit, then I'm the head coach of Kraaifontein, and we're also in Super League B. So I've had to put bodyguards directly between all three of us to make sure that nothing untoward happens throughout the rest of the show. But without further ado, Waleed Brown, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Well, good to be here. I mean, as you say, Super League B is going to be exciting this year. I think from top to bottom, I think it's going to be close. So looking forward to the competition, Kraaifontein, CPUT, yeah.
It's going to be a very, JP often has this thing where he talks about Super League B being the league to want to play in, a very tightly contested, and I think this year will be no different. Waleed, I was looking a little bit earlier, and I see you the immediate past chairman of Primrose. Explain that title to me just a little bit, if you don't mind.
Look, I mean, obviously, you know, when you change from one chairman to the other, we've got a new chairman at the moment. It's important for there to be continuity to make sure. I mean, last year we came off a very successful year. We won Super League C, got promoted. So you want to keep continuity, you want to keep the same coaches. So we keep the immediate past chairman on Exco to make sure there is continuity. Everything works seamlessly. And that's the point of it. You don't want something coming with completely new ideas, changing everything. We work on a 3-year cycle, and now we're starting that 3-year cycle again.
Well, there we go, folks. There's a lesson to be learned. If any of the other clubs are out there wanting to adopt a similar style for continuity, I think that is really, really impressive. So a very good idea there from Primrose, and maybe a couple of other clubs can take a leaf out of Primrose books. Also joined with me on the show this evening, this man is no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. He was on the show last week, Alistair Tace, the Director of Rugby at CPUT. Alistair, welcome to Cape Rugby TV for the second time in 2 weeks.
Morgan, it's nice to be back. Some continuity.
Yes, you see, Cape Rugby TV also continuing with the continuity, of course, all planned. Ali, you guys are currently competing in, of course, the Varsity Shield. You've got a big squad to deal with. You've got some friendlies coming up. Talk us through the management of the whole process.
So we've it's our third round of the Shield coming up now. The first 2 rounds we played for University of Fort Hare and Saul Plaatjies. We're fortunate to win both games, so we've got some good momentum going into our 3rd week. We've got Wusu in East London. That's just from the Shield side, and then from the club side, the club is just on from a friendly perspective on a bit of a break. Our next friendly is only the 15th of March, and thereafter we have another 2 friendlies. But our approach to friendlies are different this year. So we've opted more to train against clubs during the week, more controlled environment. We find that we can get through more of what each club or coach wants to achieve than just having a full-on chuckers or full-on friendly. So our approach has been a bit different, yeah.
Yeah, very, very interesting concept. I mean, as a coach myself, I think to a large degree also in agreement with that, because I think, 80 minutes of rugby, yes, we can play, and yes, we may get a few things out of it. There's nothing like sort of the live 80 minutes. Yeah. But controlled environments, a lot to be said about that. So, Ellie, have you got a couple of controlled environments that you've already lined up, or is it you're still lining them up as you go?
So with our Shield, we've had a couple of controlled games. We had UCT, we had, I think, Saristed Rangers, we had Violets. And then coming up with our club side, we've got Palawa coming up with a controlled environment. And then we've got the 3 full-on friendlies with Gardens, Langa, and Collegians.
Very, very interesting concept. Waleed, I mean, again, you've taught us something now, maybe sort of CPUT are teaching the rest of us. Where are you guys at? You got a couple of friendlies lined up as well. And then also, talk me through about the friendlies that you've lined up. Have you chosen them strategically? I mean, or are you wanting to play against some Super League A sides? Are you, I mean, where is Primrose at?
No, we've actually completed our off-season and pre-season. We're done now. We start probably fasting on Saturday.
Oh, yes, of course.
So there's a bit of a break. We're still training the fast, and there'll probably be a chuckers or a training session in the fast, similar to what Alice is talking about. We've had 3 friendlies, last one against Villages, against Balhar, and Abbotsdale out there in the Southwestern District. So it's very good friendlies. And then we had the Community Tens tournament as well, where we entered 2 teams. So I think it's gone very well. We've had a good squad. We've managed to retain every one of our players that won the Super League C last year. Only 1 player left. And to that, we've added some good experience. Some guys that played in the final last year may recognize. We'll be pulling on the Primrose jersey for Primrose this year, not for Makassar. and we've added some experience, some bulk in the pack. Because coming up from Super League C, we expect there to be a big difference. But as we saw on Saturday, you know, going up to Super League A, the physicality, the size and intensity is even a step up. So that's where we're going to aspire to. When you look at the clip of our game, you'll see that we competed, but we still got a way to go, particularly in the set phase and stuff, scrums and lineouts. But it's a work in progress. We think we've got enough for Super League B this year. But our aim is obviously to go up there and compete with UCT and hopefully CPUT up there in the Super League A next season.
Well, there you have it, folks. Primrose looked to be doing something right. Speaking of friendlies, we managed to catch up with one of Primrose's friendlies. They played Villages over the weekend. Let's see what went down at that game. There we have it, folks. Of course, Primrose up against Villages in a pre-season friendly. We won. The result doesn't really matter, but I mean, we'll chat to Waleed a little bit later about exactly how that game went down and where they find themselves in terms of pre-season friendly. We know that they are approaching the month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, so most of their preparation should be completed. But before that, Alistair, we're going to say bye to you. You've got to run off. Of course, you've got a busy schedule ahead of you, and yeah, I mean, what does it look like quickly before we let you go? Where you guys at?
We're second on our log now with our shield on the log, and we're heading off to East London tomorrow morning.
So there you have it. All the very best to CPUT. Alistair, thank you so much once again for joining us on Cape Rugby TV, and all the best for what's to come.
Yeah, thanks, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the league.
Yes.
At CPUT.
The bodyguards have said it's we'll see each other throughout the course of the season. Of course, Kraaifontein, Primrose, and CPUT all competing in the same league this year, so it should get very, very interesting. So folks, we're going to take a quick ad break, and when we come back from the ad break, we're going to chat to Llewellyn Libber, who's who's of course the backline coach of Brackenfell. And we're also going to continue to chat to Waleed Brown about exactly how things are going down at Primrose. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.